Hello, and welcome into this astrology energy update for the summer solstice of 2025. I thought I would do it a little bit different this time and really show you some of the astrology dynamics when I talk about them and how these planets, these archetypal energies are coming in and weaving together. Now, many people are talking about how this summer solstice is the pivotal moment for the year, for the next equinox, as well as the winter solstice. That it's this one that's really going to ring the gong and to have that vibration, that energy carry forward for the months and the years to head. And my dearest friend Katie had asked me and my opinions about it. And I was like, sure. And I pulled up my screen and I just started sharing with her because I hadn't fully looked into it yet, because things in the United States have been a bit wild. And I've been in that energy stream, especially here, my home in the Los Angeles area. So it was the first time I really tuned into the summer solstice. And then she was like, "Oh, you should have been recording this. This was great." So um, I'm going to do it again for you, or I should say, take two of it. But I do want to say thank you to Katie because I wasn't even going to do this video until she really brought it up in my field that, yeah, I do have something to share and to add in my own perspective on this energy and what's coming. Now, if you're new to this channel, my name is Christy Whistler. I am an evolutionary astrologer, as taught by Jeffrey Wolf Green. So we go very deep. None of the superficial stuff here. We kind of really go into what's uncomfortable and we shine lights there. And I'm also an intuitive and energy practitioner. And if you're wanting a reading or wanting support with whatever struggles, experiences that you're going through, please go to my website, chrissywhistler.com. And if you find this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share this with your friends, because every time you do that, it really helps me to, one, grow this channel. And so we do have an energy exchange in return. As I grow this channel, I'm able to reach and to connect with more people who are like you, who are ready uh, to open to something new and different. And guess what? That's very much going to be some of the seeds that this summer solstice is planting. Um, okay, so let me just first off share with you briefly, because I don't want this to be another hour video. I don't have time in my day for that. But just briefly to say, we are receiving a lot of energy from the sun and from space weather right now. It really feels that the sun has woken up to a whole new level of degree that started last week. I'm filming this on June 17th. So what was last week? The 9th. Yeah, I think. Yeah, anybody else having a funky time with time? We've been receiving stronger M-class flares from the sun. We've also been receiving a lot of geomagnetic storms. So Earth is receiving these energies. She is upgrading. She is transmuting. So is everyone and everything on this planet. That includes ourselves. Our own bioelectric magnetic fields are going through this. Even if you're not sensitive, you're experiencing it. We're also receiving just more information that's not able to be picked up by scientific measurements yet. But if you are really sensitive and you've been getting walloped, know that it's not just the sun that we're looking at. We're talking about the whole solar system as where Earth is moving through this photon belt, and the shields, the magnetic shields are lower than normal, so we're receiving this. So this is happening. And we are also moving into some critical geometry with the planets, with astronomy. And there's a strong correlation when we have those critical moments. And we're going to be moving into that over, I would say, the 20th into the 25th. Go check out Stephen Burns, if you want to know more about that side of it. But we're going into some critical geometry, and there's generally a correlation between space weather, as well as our own Earth. She's waking up. Earthquakes, volcanoes, all that kind of stuff. So that's happening. We are also have a just trying to find, the energy is quite intense. I'm trying to find the right words to give you. A large coronal hole that is now Earth facing. It's lined up with the solar wind, so that solar wind is being charged by all this energy coming directly from the sun's cornea. So that's a lot. And as I said, there is a lot of energy right now. And even just focusing and being able to go to the grocery store when I'm having all this transmission and information coming in is quite a challenge. And even with a list, I managed to like not get some of the things that were on my list. So if you're kind of having a little bit of spacey experience, not quite being grounded or really able to focus on, you know, paying bills, like really like left brain stuff that could be a challenge for you, this can be why. So now let's go ahead and look at some of the astrology that we have coming up for the summer solstice. Okay, so here we are. I'm looking at the date for this for June 20th, 8 p.m. Pacific time. So please change that for wherever you are in the world. All right, so I know there's a lot going on here, but let's go ahead and just zero in and focus on the sun. So here we have the sun, summer solstice, entering into the sign of Cancer. And would you look at that? Next to the sun is this guy right here, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is going to expand whatever is next to it, whatever those energies are. So everything I'm saying now about Cancer, these energies, this will be for the whole year that Jupiter is in Cancer. So we're really getting a setup for what this Jupiter in Cancer is going to mean. And Jupiter is going to bring a magnifying glass, bringing us to see all what it means of Cancer. What does that mean? Cancer is the home. It's our emotions. It's safe space. And boy, is that something that you received as a child or that you receive from the world, where there is actual space to feel your emotions, that you're safe enough to express? Or are you in a constant energy of survival, where the only emotions that you might be feeling is panic, or that experience of when you open up your wallet and there's nothing except a moth that comes out, right? All this needing to survival energy has to do with the opposite sign of Cancer, which is Capricorn. So Capricorn is is society, is our culture, our traditions. Capricorn is structure, all forms of structure. It has to do with our jobs and our workplace in the world. Whereas Cancer is about the family. It's the home. It's the energy of the mother. So really going to be entering into and looking at with a fine tooth comb and getting blown up in some big ways. Are we actually safe in society and even society's rules to honor our emotions, to honor our inner child? All of that has to do with Cancer. So if you have experiences moving forward where you're really seeing the dynamic and feeling, oh my God, I am not safe. Maybe you're not safe in your family. Maybe you're not safe in the workplace. Or maybe you're having the experience of not being safe in your country. Countries, structures also has to do with Capricorn. So we're getting a real deep dive into these energies. And I'll just bring in a little bit as well as the south nodes of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter for most of us alive are actually in the sign of Capricorn, which means we've come from lifetimes and experiences, thousands of years of doing Capricorn. This distorted patriarchy energy, dog eat dog, fight to survive world. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You guys know what I'm talking about. And the north nodes, the direction that our souls of humanity are wanting to move into is the sign of Cancer. Having actual safe space, this honoring of our own inner child, and can we come into a balance with that? That is the general energies of this polarity that we're going to be in. This is also setting us up for the Cancer new moon on June 25th. And we will also have the Capricorn full moon on July 13th with Saturn stationing retrograde not long after. So this is going to be up. So my invitation to you is to take the time and really reflect and digest. Get yourself to a place that is safe so you can emotionally digest whatever experiences you're having. Again, with family, workplace, whatever it's going to be for you, because we will all have very unique experiences. So this is this introduction, Jupiter into Cancer. Now, this is also being ruled by the moon. Moon rules Cancer. The moon is in Taurus. So this is very much what feels right for you. This is about getting into your body. What is tasty? What is enjoyable? And Venus as well is in her own sign of Taurus. This is about sensuality. And it can be a real healing of coming back into our body, into our senses, deeply connecting in with the earth as well. All right, so let's expand a little bit further. What is these energies? Very curiously, we have a grand trine that's going on. Got a grand trine here. And I'm just going to really focus on the Hemia aspect because the other ones are there too. But let's keep a tight focus because I could be here for a while and we're not going to do that this time. So I say. And then we also have this trine over here. Now this trine is really hitting with the asteroid Lilith. And we have gong gong right here. So this is part of actually what I've been really tuning into this week is this primordial divine feminine energy waking up in me. This coming back into that warrior goddess, that strength, that anchoring in, where there is still this sensitivity and this understanding and nurturing. Okay, again, all the energies of Cancer. And yet we are deeply linking in to strong feminine energies. This rising up of who she truly is. And when I say divine feminine, I just don't mean people in female bodies with female parts. This is the divine feminine, the energy that exists within all of us, because we are both masculine and feminine, and all that's been out of balance. Just like we've had that distortion of the Capricorn energy dominating our world, where you're not allowed to feel. And I'll bring this through is I had some of experiences with a short that I did where I was sharing my emotions at the No Kings protest. And I had a few people comment in not nice ways as a reaction to that video, where this emotional response triggered something in them. And we're not allowed to feel. We're not allowed to show how we feel. That's what society, Capricorn, these outdated expectations have told us we can't feel. It is weak to show emotions, as opposed to, no, man, that is real strength when we show how we feel. That embodiment within ourselves of strength. And this is part of what these feminine warrior-esque energies are really anchoring in. And I actually, again, I started just being this transmitter of their energies, and I did a short response to those comments where it was, no, I'm not going to put up with that bullshit anymore. I'm done with that game. And I'm going to see you too and see why you reacted the way that you did. So check yourself. Are you starting to feel that rising? It's like a wrath, not anger, not rage, but a divine wrath that's like, hell no. I'm not going to stand for that anymore. So what I'm speaking of here is very much some of this Lilith energy, primordial feminine strength, no bullshit strength. And she knows it. That's kind of her energy. So I encourage you to tune into that and see what that feels like for you. And then here next to Lilith, we actually have Pallas Athena. And she's also, again, Athena is a warrior goddess. And she's bringing in this intuitive wisdom that we have been disconnected from. You may be feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on, where you are just like a sponge soaking everything up. That flooding, that overwhelm. This is an energy of gong gong. So I think I'll come back to gong gong, but just to kind of make a note that we can be feeling a lot right now. And can you channel that flow? This is not about putting up a shield so you don't feel it. That's probably not going to work. At some point, there will be an overwhelm and being brought to your knees. This is very much about channeling, coming into that flow, recognizing what it is, and moving with it rather than resisting. And I'm immediately starting to feel into that society, Capricorn, Cancer. Society doesn't want us to feel, to honor our own inner emotions and stories, just like I had those reactions from some of the people to my tears, to the love that I was feeling where I was at. It was like, nope, you got to shut it down. That's not allowed in this space. So that's kind of what I mean about that wall, that shield. Try to lean into feeling and finding the right space where you feel safe to feel. Okay. Coming back to this Cancer. And again, just add overwhelm, gong gong of feeling every emotion possible. This empathic consciousness is an energy of gong gong. And Jupiter in this trine, Jupiter is going to blow that up even more. So really get to your high ground, what feels safe and comfortable for you, so you can process this. Now, on the other end of this trine, I spoke about Hamia. Hamia, in her fire goddess expression, she is the volcano who erupts, and in that eruption, everything old is destroyed. Everything is cleared out and shed, so there can be regeneration taking place, new growth. And that's very much going to be part of her message. But Hamia in Scorpio, she's coming in and she is going deep. So don't be surprised if what you are working through is very deep. And I'm even feeling a lot having to do with ancestry, lineage. This can be of your current life, but also multidimensional as well from previous lives and experiences where you're having to go that far down into you to shed a lot of the old stories. This is an energy, well, that Varda is bringing through. What are the fictional stories you have been unconsciously, Scorpio, telling yourself? Go into them and rip them out. Allow yourself the space to feel whatever that is, because this is a definite seed planting moment. This is a real returning back, or invitation to return back into balance, this returning our own inner divine feminine to take the place that she needs to take for the rest to grow. There's a lot of divine feminine energy coming in. Okay, I feel like there's more, but it's not ready yet, so I'll just let that be. But she's there. And there is this, trines, they flow so effortlessly that this can be unconscious. And so it can actually be in some ways hard to see. I don't think it's going to be hard to see because we have this particular square with Saturn, Neptune, and that square is really going to bring us into this you need to see it kind of thing. But just know that you will need to apply conscious effort to work with those energies, to return back to your divine feminine or to your emotions, whatever it is for you, that this is opening and deepening. Okay, let's talk about this Saturn. Here's Saturn in Aries. As I said, Saturn is going to be ruling that Capricorn full moon in July, as well as stationing retrograde. He's next to Neptune. I've been talking a lot about these guys. This is where um, we can be experiencing a real dissolution of everything Saturn in our lives. This has to do with your beliefs in government. Okay, your beliefs, Neptune, you believe that it was this amazing thing, and then Saturn's coming in and giving you this very uncomfortable reality check for how things actually are. This is also includes a dissolving of government itself and structures of government. This can also bring in, as we've been seeing with Iran and Israel attacking Iran, a militaristic approach. This has been an energy very in the field. It is trying to anchor in here in the United States during the peaceful protesting that we've been having. And again, Donald Trump sending in the National Guards and the Marine to my homeland of Los Angeles. So there's a push for this military and trying to ignite that fight. This is some of that energy and Saturn in Aries is bringing. And yes, we are seeing it in the world. But this square at a higher level, leaving government behind for a moment, this is asking us to see where we are still holding those conditioned beliefs, especially having to do with family. I would say that energy has been very pronounced in the conversations that I've been having with this week. Very sensitive people. Um, Not really muggles, or I guess they're a little bit muggles, but they are highly sensitive. They can feel these energies. They're coming in and starting, and they're sharing how they may want a type of relationship with someone in their family and realizing that they can't. Because to be in that relationship is going to require them to pretend to be someone that they're not. And they're feeling that tension, that square. Do I do what my family, and this is like family crest, ancestry, the rules of society says that I need to deal with my family in this particular way, my blood family, and yet there's this inner emotional tearing that's not actually honoring who they really are and what that inner child is feeling. And so there is that tension. Do I do the right thing and honor this person and take care of them? Or do I separate and honor my own feelings because this person is actually abusing me? Or they're treating me in these unkind ways. Like these are the kinds of conversations that I'm having. And yes, if you are experiencing this somehow in your life, this is exactly what the summer solstice is inviting us each into, where we can no longer hide and just do what our fathers and society and parents, that's Capricorn energy, have wanted us to do. And we're coming into this realization that we can't. Because in order to do so means that we actually lose ourselves and who we truly are. And so this is going to be a real, again, like this reverberation of energies. And it has so much to do with integrity and staying true to our inner selves. rather than these outdated expectations that we actually never agreed to. We were just born into a culture and a society that said, this is the way that you do things. This is how you parent. This is how you work. And then you go work for 50 years and then you retire. Like, I mean, that that's changing. That's falling away. That's shedding. And that is very much what you can be experiencing, really starting now at this moment in time. And then here as well as what I mean about that divine feminine strength, Eris, Lilith energy. You're coming in to say, like, no, I'm not fully sacrificing myself anymore. I matter. This is that returning of the divine feminine strength that she holds to put up those boundaries and to say no. And then just to bring in Varda as well. Varda here. We are going through very dark, challenging times. And for some, that's a really dark and scary place to be. And yet we have Varda here. Varda conjunct the galactic center. These, again, I spoke about multidimensional, new ways of doing things. She is bringing in this light and this hope to say that things are dark right now. And this is when, as we shed those fictional stories, Varda came from Tolkien's mythology. We shed those fictional stories, we grow brighter. We become that brilliant, shining light in the darkness. We can bring in that hope for ourselves and for others. But if we honor us, our inner child, our emotions, we're done with the Capricorn bullshit patriarchal game. Done with that story. Now we're coming back into, hey, I matter too. And a returning to balance with that. So, let me just bring in briefly, because I've been mentioning her quite a lot, is Eris. We've got Eris and Chiron, not that far. I would say, yep, Chiron conjunct the moon at this summer solstice. And where we have been wounded in our strength, in our sovereignty, that's again so much what I've been speaking of, this rising up to claim that space, to stand there and to say, I am and I matter. There's that, where have we been wounded in that way? By going into that wound, that is actually where we will find the strength to rise up and to stand in the light, to cause the necessary discord in order to bring about harmony. And here, of course, we've got these guys opposite to Haumea. So here is that necessary volcanic destruction, clearing out of the land so the new can be reborn. This is not just necessarily what we're seeing in the world. This is a mirror of our own inner experience as we shed those old stories to have those new seeds planted. And again, we are the light and the hope that we've been waiting for. So I hope This has helped ground you into some of what we are feeling with the summer solstice energies and where we're being lined up to go into and move into. And to really take that time to reflect and to notice, how is that coming up for you? What are those experiences asking you to see in yourself, those old stories, those old beliefs, and where there is that necessary shedding and dissolving and this letting go so that the new can be reborn, that new can come in. And remember, as one of us does that work and we go deeper into our emotional spiral and the trauma from all these lifetimes, as we do that and we shine brighter and we hold our light, we embody that energy of the divine feminine, and we hold and anchor in, we are that light that will then carry out so others can see and others reflect, oh, I can do that too. And then they shine even brighter. This is how things change. This is how we rise in the whole consciousness of humanity. And remember that as we do that, we're modeling this. It's not just the other adults who are seeing this. Our children are witnessing us. They are seeing how we embody, how we stand and hold during these very dark, turbulent times. I hope you found this helpful. Please let me know in the comments what you think. If you like the video coming in this way, so you can actually see some of the astrology that I was talking about. And um, please share it. Please like. All the things will help me so much. And if you are still struggling and needing support, please reach out. I am here for you if and when you need me. Thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.